Okay. My name is Jorge Aponte, and I'm going to be doing my persuasive speech on why we should all do our part to limit the spread of coronavirus. This is my audience. This year has been unforgettable in many ways. One of those ways being the impact that COVID-19 has had on our society and the way things run. After this year, things are definitely going to be different, and the normal we knew before is definitely not going to be the new normal. I, like you, am still trying to adapt day to day to the new regulations and changes that are being made as new information comes out about the coronavirus. And we're all going through it together at the same time. So that means we all have a shared responsibility to do our part in preventing the spread of coronavirus. Bringing an end to coronavirus is definitely not something that's going to happen overnight. This is something that we're going to have to come together as a society to adapt our social habits, adapt the way we interact with each other, and just adapt our social habits or our daily habits. We must adapt the way we interact with each other to effectively slow the spread of coronavirus. And one of the most effective ways to do that is to practice social distancing. According to the CDC, coronavirus is a virus that can spread through respiratory droplets that can be passed to one another through the air. Anytime an infected person coughs, sneezes, breathes, laughs, or even opens their mouth, these droplets can be spread into the air. And the closer you are to someone, the more likely you are to come in contact with these droplets and in turn catch the coronavirus. So it's important to keep distance from one another and limit how close we are to other people. Another way we can limit the spread of coronavirus is by limiting social gatherings and also trying to keep groups small and limit the amount of people in these groups. Another thing we could do is to adapt the way we interact amongst each other socially. One of the most creative things I saw during this lockdown is drive-by birthdays and drive-by drive-by graduation celebrations. This is a creative way that we can all still celebrate together without being in close contact with each other. So it's all about adapting and finding new ways to interact amongst each other. Aside from adjusting social habits, another thing that we are responsible for is adjusting our day-to-day personal habits. One of the more different things that we've had to adjust to is wearing masks in our day-to-day life. Previous to coronavirus, Americans typically did not wear masks wherever they went, but now it's something that we have to do. And according to an article done by the University of California, San Francisco, an experiment was done that found that wearing facial coverings over the nose and mouth limits these air droplets that I was talking about earlier from spreading into the air and coming in contact with other people. Another way we can slow the spread of coronavirus is by increasing the frequency that we wash our hands. That seems like an obvious one, but like I said, these air droplets, they can land everywhere, and we touch hundreds of surfaces a day. So the bacteria that we touch on the surface can reach our face if we touch our face, and in turn infect us that way. So it's important that we wash our hands. And according to centerhealth.org, washing your hands is one of the most effective ways to stop the spread of any virus because it is one of the best ways to kill germs on our hands from the surfaces that we touch. Although some people might say that wearing masks isn't really effective and that it's uncomfortable and cause discomfort, there are other alternatives such as face shields that you don't directly wear on your face, but are still effective in keeping these air droplets from reaching you and your air droplets from reaching other people. And at the end of the day, we're all in this together, and the only way that we can really affect the spread of coronavirus is by adapting the way we live and adapting our social habits. And The only way we can do that is if we all come together and show support for each other and do our part in protecting each other.